All right. Thank you for everyone for joining us today. 3 questions, 1 habit. Today's topic is conscious capitalism, and my guest is Bethany Hilton. Bethany, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who do you work for, and what do you do?
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Tim. I work for Improving. We're a software services company, and I've been with the company for 6 years. I'm an account manager there. I really enjoy just getting a chance to interact with leaders like you in the community and also to really just develop my own skills within the organization. So I'm also involved with Conscious Capitalism, the international movement, and then the local chapters. And I know we'll be talking a bit more about that.
Absolutely. And I know that you're improving conscious capitalism, basically spokesperson. You lead our initiative for that, right? And so you definitely have a lot of passion around this space. So let's get straight into it and hit question 1. What is conscious capitalism and what does it stand for?
Excellent question. Conscious capitalism is a movement, but it's also an organization that supports the movement. So it's two different things, really. The movement is all about elevating humanity through business. We want to see businesses really make a difference for the individual. Rather than just focusing on profit, we want to consider purpose as part of the importance of what business is trying to do in the world, is create profits and also create purpose. So that's the movement, is elevating humanity through business. How we do that is really changing the practices and perceptions of capitalism, really working to help businesses to do a better job of caring for their stakeholders, caring for their communities, and making a difference with their work. The organization that supports the movement is Conscious Capitalism Incorporated, and they have a website you can check out. All of that, I'm sure we'll get into that in a bit. But they have an entire team dedicated to really furthering this movement, helping to develop local chapters all over the world. We're in every continent at this point, I think, and really the goal there is to bring leaders together to help them practice these principles, help them understand it, and for the ultimate goal of really bettering ourselves and the world.
So you mentioned the to the benefit of the stakeholders there, right? What's a stakeholder? That seems like a
Okay.
loaded word.
Yes. One of the 4 principles of conscious capitalism is stakeholder orientation. A lot of businesses traditionally focus on the shareholders as the primary person of importance in an organization. All of the value of the business is driving towards how can we make as much money as possible for the shareholders. However, conscious capitalism looks at a bit of a bigger picture, saying that stakeholders are pretty much everybody that interacts with your business. This can be your customers, your employees, your vendors, the community that you operate your business in, et cetera, et cetera. This focus on shareholder or stakeholders versus shareholders is kind of something that differentiates conscious capitalism.
All right. So let's get on to question 2 then and dig in a little bit deeper here. What is or how have you seen conscious capitalism participation help companies and their leaders for the better?
Cool. I would say I'll break it up into 2 different areas, right? The leaders and then the companies. For leaders, really, it helps to build more awareness as to where there might be blind spots, where they might think that they're doing a good job and think that they're living out their aspirational values, but maybe it doesn't as closely align with reality as they would hope. So, getting together, spending time, they get introduced to new ideas, they get time to self reflect and work to really make sure that what they say they want to be and become is really coming to fruition. Then for companies, I think there's a lot of benefit for them in learning best practices. They can get together with a bunch of other organizations, hear what they're doing to help care for all of their stakeholders, to help further a purpose, and even to be more profitable. So you really get some of the top business leaders giving you great ideas, practices, tips, and tools to really help your business thrive.
Okay. Now you mentioned be more profitable. How can I be more profitable by spending time doing this? How does that concretely work out?
Sure. So I can't give you I think it's qualitative measurements of, if you do A plus B, you will make C. However, I can say that a lot of these are kind of funnel opportunities. So we have a lot of business leaders getting together that have figured out how to have profitable businesses. Their knowledge is obviously very valuable and will help you to be able to bring those tools to your organization. The other thing is that it's kind of an opportunity for you to be around people that think a bit more like you. And so doing business with them is going to be easier, smoother. It's an opportunity to let people know that you care about something beyond making a profit, which in this particular socioeconomic landscape that we find ourselves in these days, that's very valuable. So people are starting to care about what the business practices are behind the products that they're purchasing. So you have conscious consumerism, you have an opportunity to align yourself and say, hey, we care about more than just the products we're building. We care about the process in which we're invested and et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the things that I think is really, really valuable. I think also that you're going to learn better tips and tricks, but you're going to learn better tools to keep your employees around longer, which we know turnover is a big challenge within organizations. And so we want to make those opportunities available for people to really learn how to keep their employees, how to have a better work culture, and ultimately be more profitable while still building a great company they can be proud of.
Yeah, I think that those key practices, sharing, right, that makes a vital difference to truly in both directions. You mentioned larger companies and leaders that are involved, but everyone's a lifelong learner, and the moment you think you've mastered it all, right, you're doomed. And so truly being able to come in with the humility to say, I'm here to learn from others that are part of this community, and hopefully create a better organization for me and my employees because of what I am learning here. I think that is absolutely key. So how can I find my local chapter? Question 3, how can I find my local chapter and get plugged in? If this is something that resonates with me, how do I become part of Conscious Capitalism?
There is a website, consciouscapitalism.org, that is kind of the umbrella organization. So you'll be able to go on there, see upcoming events for different chapters. They'll have lots of tools and resources available. You can go within that website and see kind of where your local chapters are as well. Another suggestion I would have is just to Google Conscious Capitalism Atlanta, Conscious Capitalism Dallas, and you will find a lot of these local communities have their own websites as well. So between those, you'll be able to find lots of resources. There's a lot of events happening. What's cool right now with the virtual environment that we find ourselves in, there's a lot of events that are online. So you could attend a Conscious Capitalism chapter event in Barcelona, Spain, or here in the US or elsewhere. This kind of opens up your opportunities. So yeah, do a quick web search and then check in with the international organization as well.
Awesome. And we'll have some great links on the post where you find this to make sure that people can find those resources and come back to them later. Now, we always ask our guests to give us one habit, one thing that has helped you be successful doing what you do. So Bethany, what's your one habit?
Okay, so I have a backup in case you don't like this one, if it doesn't count as a habit, but I found it to be extremely valuable. So it's more of a principle of how I do my work, but it's that every piece of information has an action attached to it. So if I get an email, I always ask myself, what is this? If this is just an FYI, where am I storing that information? That might be the action, is just to store this information. Or if there's an action associated, what is the action? So every piece of information, if you tell me something, Tim, my thought is, do I need to store this? Do I need to do something with it? Do I need to remember? And that really helps me to just be consistent, dependable, and get a lot done.
Well, that's an awesome habit, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. All right. Well, Bethany, thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling us a little bit about conscious capitalism today. And I hope that our viewers will click the links below and get involved. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Tim.